Good afternoon, folks. I am the Fellowship Gardener, and just going to put up a quick video here. I want to talk quickly about something. Rained for a week straight, so I was out working in the yard this morning. We finally got some good weather. I had to mow the lawn and transplant a couple starter plants and getting ready to go off to work. I work second shift, so just taking a little break here, and then I'm off to work. But I want to talk to you about prepping. So, of course, I did a couple of my other videos a little bit about, storing food and ammo and trying to be aware of things and prep for the unknown or the known, which isn't so good, and what might come, we really don't know. But just to be ready for it in any form that it does take. And I had said that, my wife and I, we set aside a little budget to try to get some stuff that we needed. We bought some bulk food, as I said, some ammo, some stuff like that. And we got a long way to go. The more stuff you buy, the more you realize you need. And you go through these lists of equipment and stuff, it's just crazy. So we try to do a little bit here and there as we can. And we did alright for a few months. And now, facing the summer, my wife's a paraprofessional in a school, in a public school, and so one of her jobs, her full-time job, is actually will be suspended for the summer. And just the way it's set up, she doesn't get to collect unemployment or anything, so a lot of our disposable income is down for the summer. And we, sorry, I just heard a truck out there. And we, got to watch our spending. So what we're doing is we're cutting out the prepping for the most part. I'm still going to dehydrate some veggies. Some of the stuff we grow, we're going to try to store and prepare through the dehydrator, freeze, or whatever. But, there's things you can do that don't cost any money. So, I got this off-grid camp a couple hours north of here. I did a video. I showed it to you. And I started planting some herbs up there. And I got blackberries in the yard, and I propagate them through, I think they call it tip planting. You bend it over and you plant it out. Actually, I should have showed you outside. Next video I do, I'll show you. But I stick the tip in a bucket of dirt, keep it watered, and it'll actually take root. And so in a few weeks when it takes root, then you just cut it. And you carry the bucket away and you got a plant that you can transplant somewhere else. Or, if you're doing it in a row, you can do that and just multiply the plants that you have in the row. And so that's a good way that doesn't cost any money to multiply the blackberries and raspberry bushes. So I'm planning on going up for a long weekend, Memorial Day weekend, up to the camp to do some work, cut down some trees and chip up some branches and stuff and put it on a garden area. I'm going to do a back to Eden garden up there eventually when we kind of have it as an emergency location. So if we have to go up there to get away, then I'll have this area prepared where I can garden. And so then on top of that too, there's some perennial stuff that I'm going to go ahead and do, like I said, the herbs, and I'm going to plant a bunch of blackberries and some raspberries and some different things up there and just let them start, because a lot of those things, they take a lot of time before you actually get any yield off of them. And so I'm going to get those going. And I saw a video, I actually ordered some Jerusalem artichokes. So the benefits, health benefits to them are great. They actually call them a superfood. So the way, I'm not a, doctor or nutritionalist or whatever, but they claim that they're good in lowering cholesterol, they're good for digestion, they got potassium, so they're good for the heart. And unlike potatoes, they don't have starch and a lot of the bad stuff that potatoes have, but they do eat kind of like a potato. And you can eat them raw, like a water chestnut, or you can cook them as you would a potato. So they're pretty voracious growers, and they'll actually be invasive and take an area over. So I'm kind of looking forward to setting aside a little area up there and getting some of those going. And so a lot of these things, I had to buy the tubers. I'm going to plant some here in buckets. But I'm going to plant some up there as well. So it's very, very little investment, and it's something I can do to further my preparedness efforts, even through this time where we're kind of in a money crunch. So it's just stuff like that, planting, getting ready. I'm going to look at, there's a stream up there, and try to divert it, or look at different ways I can get water, deliver water down the hill to where the cabin is. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff, you know, just cutting trees and getting firewood ready. I want to show you a book I picked up. It's called Back to Basics. Alright, so a lot of you probably already saw this. It's not like it's anything new. It's a Reader's Digest book. It's probably from like the 70s. Well, this book on Amazon.com was $1.53. I think I paid for it, and then the shipping was like $3.95 or whatever. So I mean, it was $5 and change altogether, and it's awesome. It's just invaluable. So like, this is the older edition. They got a green one now. It's like, you know, the new, improved, newest edition, whatever. And they had those for $20-$30. So just like I said, would being a little mindful of the money, I just decided to go with this one. I just want to read you a few of the categories. You know, so they break it down into parts. So they got 6 parts. So part 1 is, you know, buying country property, planning your home, preparing the site, converting trees into lumber, building a log cabin, and there's several other things, raising a barn, developing a water supply, sanitation, fireplace construction, stone wall and brick, fences. Part 2 is energy from wood, water, wind, and sun. Making your house energy efficient. Wood is a fuel, heating with wood, water power, wind power, solar power, other energy sources. Part 3, raising your own vegetables, fruit, and livestock. The kitchen garden, gardening in limited space, herb gardens, fruits and nuts, pest control, grains and grasses, beekeeping, fish farming, and raising livestock. Part 4, enjoying your harvest year-round, preserving produce, preserving meat and fish, making your own dairy products, maple sugaring, homemade beverages, baking bread, regional cooking, cooking with wood. Part 5, skills and crafts for house and homestead, natural dyes, spinning, weaving, hook rugs, braided rugs, patchwork quilting, and it just, the list goes on and on and on. It ends with gourd craft, soap making, candle making, basketry. Part 6, recreation at home. Old time, good times, crafting a mountain dulcimer, celebrating holidays, canoeing and kayaking, wilderness camping, outdoors in the winter, fishing, living with nature. So like, this book has, you know, it's whatever, 500 pages, 450 pages. It has so many awesome things in it. Like there was a thing on raising and butchering rabbits, raising and butchering chickens, digging a root cellar, how to weave different things, different fences, just so many useful things. So like for $5 it was awesome. I mean, that was shipping and everything, like I said. And how to make beer, how to make wine, homemade ice cream, cheese, how to make cheese, smoking and drying, how to make a smoker, shows you the designs and how to build a smoker, build your own smoker. There's ones in there for solar dehydrating, how to build your own solar dehydrator, how to build your own solar oven, canning. And so, you know, this is something that, so going back to, you know, prepping without any money, I could spend, years probably, at least this whole entire summer, why we don't have a lot of money to spend, just honing up on certain skills, learning certain skills. So that's part of the prepping, you know, like everybody just wants to run out, and you know, I'm guilty of it too. I like to get a lot of cool stuff. I did one of my other videos, the guys I prep with, like, you know, they don't have food, but yet they got 3,000 rounds of ammo for every gun that they own. And I'm not saying having a lot of ammo is bad, But you gotta try to prioritize things, right? Well, we talked about this a little before, so I don't wanna go off on that again, but, this here's something that, a skill is something that doesn't really necessarily cost anything to learn. And it's not something that's gonna, wither away. You'll have it forever. You learn it, you know it. So, I think that's good. That's a good way to go. This is something that, while we're down on the spending end of it, we can hone up on our skills. We can learn different things, different crafts, different things that are important. I'm going to go up and survey the area. Actually got a good idea for doing a hydroelectric generator. And the way my property is situated, there's not a big drop, and there's a stream off the property. It's on national forest land, so it's tricky, like how that's all going to work. But if I can divert some of it over, and get the right amount of drop and build the right amount of head pressure, I could spin the turbine and actually produce some electricity. Then there's like passive solar has a thing in there about for doing passive solar water heaters, and build like a passive solar water heater for a shower maybe. So there's a lot of things like that we can work on that won't cost a lot of money. And like I said, these skills that are invaluable to have. One thing I want to start to do, and of course until I get up there I can't really do it, but I want to raise rabbits and butcher rabbits, and so there's a whole section in that book about that. And just there's something I want to learn, it's something I want to figure out how to do. So some of that I can do here, some I can't. Been interested in bees also. That I could probably do here, but that's a little bit of an expense to get into it. So that's probably not going to happen this summer, but eventually it will. But I'm just going to, like I said, I plan on reading that book cover to cover over the summer and learning, picking up as much knowledge as I can out of it, and continue to prepare however I can without spending a lot of money. And again, planting herbs, perennial herbs, planting perennial food products like the sunchokes and the berries, and probably going to get a couple fruit trees. And we got an area down the road behind a restaurant, goes off into the woods and goes along a river. We used to go down there when we were kids, and of course I haven't been down there in years and years and years, but there were always blackberries and raspberries and grapes going wild down there along the riverbank. So I want to try to take some cuttings from those and try to transplant them up there too. And just last week they were in season was the fiddlehead ferns, and they grow along the river. So there's foraging things, and there's things in there about foraging as well. And so just learning those things and when they're in season is very important, because you can go down there and get a couple 5-gallon pails of fiddlehead ferns, and they're free. You pick them right out of the ground. They're only there for a couple weeks. Then they blow into a huge fern, and then so they're not. You got to get them right when they pop out of the ground, and they're about 6 inches tall, and so it's tricky timing wise. But oh man, they're good. We saute them with a little garlic and olive oil, and I like them a little al dente, so I just flash them in the olive oil a little bit, a few minutes. I'll put them on a plate, a little salt. Oof, awesome. So there's things you can do if you don't have any money, and or little money. And so just want to encourage you along those lines. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. As always, if you like, please like the video. Subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that. That'd be great. And have a great day. God bless you.